this will not be a long time. And I don't know how I even do this one. You can only do one screen. Oh, I don't have to be watching that screen. Okay. I have to watch myself. It's distracting anyway. So I will leave that screen there, go over here. This is the screen I will share. And I'll just talk about what I'm doing over here because that's going to be, oh, okay, that's going to be over here. All right. So, what I am doing at this moment is taking these uh, stocks that I have put together that have dividends coming up, and I'm going to buy them because their dividends will be. Now, this is again with the bumper cars because this one, ABBV, has an X date that is today. So I don't know how that works on the dividends. Like maybe that. So I think that means I can still buy it. Like if I buy it right now, I'm on for the the dividend. We'll assume that that is the case. If not, I would have bought it yesterday anyway. Because the point of it is that I don't not care about how much the stock costs, but I do. So anyway, here's what I'm doing. I've got a $10,000 balance, and I'm going to take that 10,000. I'll just leave it at 10,000. Uh, and there are nine stocks. Well, no, I'm going to risk. I said 10%. Yeah, I'm going to risk 10%, which is $1,000. So then I'm going to clear that. I'm going to take $1,000 and divide that up of the nine shot stocks that I have, and that means I'll do $111 worth of shares on each of these, and then I'm just going to kind of go that route. I may tweak that at some point and figure out how many shares that will get me. But right now, I'm just going to do $111, which gives me a half of a share or a little more. I'm buying it at the current price. And that's all that, I'm buying it because now I get the dividend for that share on the day. I should have did this yesterday, but this is what happened. I didn't. The other, let's see these, is okay. Now that ABBV has a dividend of $1.55 per share. So I will only get half of that, but that's 75 cents just for owning the share. Now, if I can sell it up here, that'd be great, but I don't know. As long as I sell it here and I can wait for it to get here, whether it goes up or goes down, that's what my man says. It'll go up and down as long as it needs to. And I'll go over the other ones. Like if you look at these five positions, because I started this last week, these are the ones that are left, right? But the other four are already sold for a realized profit of $27. And then um, these are still, they now making an unrealized profit. But if you look at any of them, uh, you know, this is not something I'm doing 15 minutes on. This is strictly a daily chart. I don't need any indicators. I don't need any. This is slow, but if it works as I think it works, then steady. Because uh, it's not there. It's down here. Yeah, there it is. All right. Because if you look over here, this particular stock right there, that BBVA that I am still into right now and has a negative $3.80 because the price is down here, whereas I bought it last week at that price. Which why was it way up there when I bought it there? I would think it would be here. But in any case, this was the price I paid for this share was right here. was at 1059. 1066 is what I'm selling for. Okay, so the 1059 is what I bought it for. So when I bought it, notice I don't have a stop loss because I'm not selling it for a loss, period. I'm only going to take a profit on it because I already took a profit on it because that BBVA paid me a dividend because I owned it last week on the 9th. It paid me 26 cents per share for 10 cents, which is, where are you? Which is BBVA, $2.63 for that 10 shares that I got, right? So $2.63 on the one share that I got for 1059 and therefore spent $105 on. I made 2.48% on that just there if I don't sell it for a loss. So now I'll just wait and hope that it comes back up fairly quickly. I don't want to wait forever. And once I get into this more, what's the word I'm looking for? Driving it, not like a bumper car, but like, okay, there's one that is close to where I want it to be. I can get in and get out and keep on going. Just that small thing. I mean, 263 for free is not bad because you scale that up to 100 and that's 200. Or that's what is that, man? I can't do this. I feel you watching me. 263 times 100 scale, scale it up to, or $263 of money that you spend. And then, like I said, you don't have to, because what's going to happen here is worst case scenario. This is the worst case scenario. I don't sell the stock. The stock goes down. Instead of coming back up here, it goes down to here again. And Christmas comes and it's down here. Well, guess what's going to happen in January? They're going to give me another $2.63, and I'll just wait for it to do what it does, which is go up and go down and go up and go down. And where we are right now, you can kind of see this is an overtime kind of thing. So it's kind of made its, way up, generally speaking. And here it is, and it's now doing this thing. So I'll just wait for it to go up and then get out. And perhaps buy this very stock again in January for a week or two. I think that's how this works. We'll see if this works. I mean, this is the testing phase, the bump car phase, because that's BBVA, which is not what I'm doing right now. That's me explaining to myself what I already that's what I kind of did before I did the video, but that's okay because I need the video to making the video so I can watch this at some point. Now I know what I was doing. And if I'm dead, and you need to know how to deal with this stuff because I'm trying to set something up. So let's do it. I'm not doing the BBVA. I'm over here on Schwab because Schwab is where I've got my. That's where I've got my what you call it. I'm gonna see if I can't do this in 10 minutes because that's the whole point. Dude calls it 10-minute trader. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot through this as quickly as I can because all I need to do is go to my list and pull my 10 or 9 rather, and I've already determined I'm going to do $111 per share and then buy it wherever it is. What was that first one? ABBV. That's the problem. I thought I was where I was, but I had already done that. Okay, so I already bought $111 worth of that, which was a little over half of a share So I'm already into that one, and it's on my list. So this is my second week. So I'm gonna, because what I was able to do, I'm kind of gonna keep working on this spreadsheet to figure out what will work for me or make sense for me. But in the week, that 1 week with those 9 shares or 9 stock, I was able to make $20. That's on money that I did not spend, $982, but money that I did not actually spend, because I then turned around and sold the actual stocks back for a profit or better, or I mean, for even or better. And the ones that didn't, I just explained, I'll hold on to, and they will give me the profit later or not. So I didn't actually have to spend that 982. I invested it in those stocks, and that's why my investment got me the ownership dividend, and therefore I'll take that dividend, the $20 that I made there, $19.37, and add it to. Now I didn't get a dividend because they don't give you dividends in paper trading. But if this were my real account, I would have that $20 to add to my 10,000, and then add that to suddenly making, instead of $110 worth per share or 111, it might be for 200 per share, and then everything would scale up. Yeah, everything would scale up. And so if you take the loan, the yellow ones there that I have marked are, these yellow ones here and here are the ones that I actually purchased. And we'll look at those real quick, um, because this is where you got to do something to see, because like I said, they don't do paper trading with dividends. So they're not going to give me a dividend and say this would have been your dividend, because they're like, man, look, we're willing to tell you if you're going to put some money on the table. So I have put some money on the table to find out. Now, uh, yeah. All right. So my stock that I'm looking at, or not stock, okay, that's fine. All right. The ones I'm looking at are ABBV, which I've already got a position on. So I need to put it in here. The symbol. And how much did I get? 0.57 of share. And the dividend that it is supposed to pay out. Okay. The dividend that it's supposed to pay out is $1.55 per share. Hello, where you at? Oh, no. Then I'm gonna copy this and put it here. All right, those are numbers I gotta fill in. That's there, that, and that. Okay. And then this is how much it actually costs. So that's gonna be a copy there. Copy that. Copy that, Red Ranger. All right, and then paste that in. All right, now it should start working for me a little bit differently. So now that ABBV, and then my next one is ABT, and it does not yet have a share purchase, but I said I'm doing $111. $111, which is almost a full share. Just do it. See, this messes with me because I'm like, no, I can just do it for the bottom. All right, so just buy it for $111, and there it is. And that gives me 0.95 shares. ABT for 0.94 shares. And their dividend is 0.55. So that would be 52 cents going into the account next week or whenever it is. See, because here's the thing, is it says here's when it is, and then they're not going to pay it out till next month, November 15th. But this is part of what I am attempting to build is a raindrop strategy so that I can spend some time doing these things and create raindrops that are pleasant. And maybe that's overly optimistic, or maybe it's genius and you're on at the ground floor. But it requires a discipline. So that's what I'm trying to do is build the structure to make it so that it's something you just do as you do. Now, there is one more piece on here that I didn't hit, which is the fill price of the deal, because that's how much I'm actually spending on it. So on my positions, on that ABBV, the price, dividend profit, what was the fill price there? That's the actual price per share, right? All right, let me see what I wrote down or what I was doing. Who do I still have? Up there, BBVA. All right, BBVA was 0.263 for the dividend. I have 10. The average fill price was 10.59 because 10 times 10 is, well, it should come in right at or under $111. Although I'm not positive that I did that by just putting in 111 last time, because I think I might have said, well, that's a few shares. Like the last one, instead of 94%, I just went ahead and rounded it up. But let me see, because this is BBVA for 10.59 times 10 shares is $105.90, which is what I have down. Okay. All right. So for some reason, I did not do 111. And it may be that I didn't do it that way last week. I might have done it. That's why I've got it on video now, what I did. And I'm doing my sheet so I can know. All right. So where's that fill price at? That was right there. So you're saying that the ABBV fill price was 193.8.38. All right, so that is not 10 minutes, but I'm learning because I'd be able to do this a lot faster. Okay, so it cost me $110.23. Okay. Man, I keep getting hit with these stupid spam calls. All right, and ABT was a fill price of 116.99, and then that's $109. Okay, so now we're back on the road again. So now ABT, the next one, HRL, and that company, I'm going to trade into it for $111, and that's going to buy me orders placed. I'll wait. Let's see. I'll wait for that little beezy. Okay, that's that one. Then these are the other ones. Oh, that HRL has a. Did I put the prices in? I didn't put the HRL quantity. I don't have a quantity yet. The dividend for it is 0.282, and I don't have any of that information yet, and I don't have a fill price yet. The quantity and the fill will be given when the order satisfies. Which you can do this part in the morning. You can order it on Monday morning before the market opens up, and it'll automatically fill at that point. FUL is my next, and I need to go. So FUL point. Okay, so FUL has a dividend. Where do I put my dividend? Over here of 0.222. 0.222. Now it occurs to me, I won't worry about that, but I do need to put the date in when that X date is, because this was the 17th, which is Thursday. So now this some of these I could actually go in and buy, which I will probably do once I get these numbers put in to figure out, um, and start on my other account actually having some dividends coming in, because it's free in that respect. FUL and MGRC. MGRC is dividend. Has a dividend of 0.475. Now, all of these companies that I have on this list that's presented to me are companies that are, what's the word I'm looking for? MRGC. Let me do them right here. They all have paid increasing dividends for a number of years, a lot of years, like $111. Okay, when I say 0.102, okay, so what was that fill price? NG position. Oh, it's going to be alphabetical. NGRC fill for 108. Okay, so what's my quantity? 1.02? No, 1.02 was my quantity. My fill price was 108. It was $108.3. Right? So right off cent. Oh, I didn't do this one. That's what I didn't do. Okay. Now copy that. Put that Yeah, let's see, watch this. What happens here is, what was the other? One of the others do not fill. HRL should fill. I don't understand why it's not. There. I don't know why it did that. Alright, HRL filled. So quantity 3.54. And the fill price was, no. HRL quantity price that's the current price. You know? It filled at 31.38. Where are you? HRL 31.38. Okay. Where does this other price go? Yeah. There's the price. Okay. That's the price when you ask for it. You asked for 341, you got it for 31.41, you got it for 31.38. Gotcha. Alright. Trying to figure out what all the what's is and what's its ain'ts. 31.38 was the actual fill price. That's what I'm looking for, the fill price. And then who else? FUL still not there. So let's go figure out why not. It did not. There's just nothing there for you. So FUL is you. Yes. It's 17.222. I must have not did this part. $11. Buy it as is. And it's a 1.37 for the quantity. And the fill price for FABCD. Give it to me. Oh, goodness. FUL 80.82. 0.82. Alright, let's get. Damn, so that's 20 minutes and I'm only halfway through my damn list. Or at least these are all on, these are the Friday, folks. And see if I was so inclined, I could say, I'll leave this for later. But that's what happened yesterday, and I didn't get those other ones done. And I need to determine, because I do have, today's Tuesday. So I do have tomorrow that I can buy the others to determine which ones I want to actually buy for this week. Because I have a small account with a couple $100 in it, and like I said, if I can get a couple bucks on them and it grows with no risk. Okay. And using what I'm learning in the structure and all of that stuff, I can see like some of these, like this is one that I could expect to see something like this happen with. This is CL Colgate, and it is Colgate, or CL rather, and it is, I'll go ahead and do this because I think that's where I got. Stop order placed. Oh, snap. That's not what I wanted to do. I don't want to stop ordering it. And I did not just get it either. I didn't hear it. Is it actually position? I don't think so. This is what happened a minute ago. Yeah. By putting that risk in there, I created a stop loss. Because that's what the risk is the stop loss is risk management. So let me just stop this all together and just, what I want to do is buy a market USD dollars, not risk. There it is. That's what I want. And now I have it. Okay. Hello. Okay. So CL. I have 1.09. It has a dividend of 50 cents. And I have a fill price of 101.34. 1.34. So what this is alleging to me is that I spent $110 and I'm going to get 0.49% just on the deal. So these dividends are not as high as last week's. So this number will likely be a lot less. I see that. Okay. And this one is going to be PG, which is Procter & Gamble, and actually may have a sizable dividend. Yeah, they have a whole dollar. I ain't getting very much of it because for the market, for me to get 111, I won't get a dollar. I'll get a little over. I'll get 0.63. Okay, so that one is PG, and that one is quantity. What did I just say? 0.6. Where'd you go? Oh. Covers it up now. So it's 0.63. 0.63. And the fill price was 173.47. See, and I would figure this down to be only stocks that cost so much and all of that, but I'm just trying to figure out if this indeed is a viable thing, because the PG, what else am I looking for? Oh, the fill price. Oh, no. Was 173.47. The dividend was 1.007. Okay. Okay. That's more sensible that I would get a 63 cents on that. Right. Okay. And then PNR. That's PNR. Let me do this other one so it's there. RPM. And that's it. Okay. That way I can feel like I'm getting somewhere. PNR. Pentair. But it's going to be right about a share. So a little over a share. Here we go. 11. It's going to be. Quantity 1.11. Right? And the dividend on that is 0.23 cents. And the fill price was 99.49. Right? Yeah. Okay. And then RPM is RPM. What the hell am I looking at? Oh, okay. I'm looking to trade $111. This is going to give me a 0.82. That was the order and the fill. RPM, there you go. This is 0.82. And the dividend for that is 0.51. And the fill for that is 134.44. Right? Right. Alright. So, and this is I3 through 11. That's how much you spent and the profit. Let me see. Let's do this. I don't know if this will work. That's down one and over, so it should be the same deal. Okay. So ends up being, and again, I'm not sure why it didn't do straight 111 everywhere, but it's the same 111 or $992. And then if I was to take this and say divide that dollar by the total and express it as a percent, it'd be a 2% for the week. And that would be 1%. No, really? That's what he says, 1% a week. And see, if you can get 1% on your money for a week, just look at this. $10,000. Right? Well, I ain't got the time because I don't know how to do the numbers, so I'll do this. I will cheat and use my buddy Maurice. That's what I call my chat GPT. I'm gonna look up Chat GPT, and I've got some different deals here. Request for document analysis. That's not the one. I had one. That's not it. I'll be playing little games with it. So I'll just do this here word guessing game. So I'm gonna do this here and say do this and say what would $10,000, no, we'll say 1% earned each week on $10,000 look like in 1 year? And it'll probably give me a table, or we call it a spreadsheet of its own to explain it. I can't believe that's, if you earn 1% each week on an initial investment of $10,000, after 1 year, 52 weeks, your investment will grow to approximately $16,000, and that's you not doing anything with it except this. Because what you're doing is you're taking and you're getting that 1%, 2% this week, 1% that week. So it will average out to about 1%, because as you can see, sometimes the dividends will be bigger than others. And I'm not going to mess with flipping around my calendar and all of this stuff. But, some weeks, my list here has companies that all have paid for like 15, 20 years in a row, more each year on their dividends. So if it's started at a nickel and went up a nickel and point percent or whatever, little, you saw how some of them were point 222, but it has gone up without fail for 20 years. That's how it's on the list. And then here's one. We'll just look and see in the weeks coming up some of this other stuff that's out there that we'll be paying, but like DANF, which is, I think that's one we just talked about. But yeah, it has a start dividend of 46 cents for every share. Now the shares cost over $100 right now. But again, once I get this whittled out, I'll be able to go, okay, here's all these shares, how much do all of them cost, and then keep myself within a certain range, and then just pick out the ones that also are like not like this, right? Like if this particular stock, in my estimation at this moment, not knowing much about anything, in my estimation right now, this would not be one I would want to buy today because they got a dividend thing tomorrow. Because the price is up here and it's never, I mean, not never, it's been a long time since it was that high. So I will most likely be left holding on to that. Part of the idea is that kind of what happens around the time that they give out the dividends, because that's what this is. This is X date, Monday, September 30th. So this is the day of the dividend, right? The day of the dividend, the day of the dividend. You start to see that, there's activity around it. If you can get it here a couple weeks before, because that's ultimately what I'm doing, is you then start to try and look at it a little bit better, not necessarily just this week. but maybe a couple weeks. Because if this is paying out a dividend based on you owning that stock on this day, if you bought it here and then you sold it here, and in this particular case, you might even be fortunate enough to sell it there using that trail stop method. And there's no guarantee on how much you will make in that way, but you cannot lose because even if you bought it here, or say you bought it here 2 weeks before and then it went down and then you got your dividend right there, you just would have to hold it for the next, well, that was days in that particular case. But let's say that I'm trying to find a bad case on this deal. Here's one that's probably you might look at and go like, well, I'm going to get it 2 weeks before the dividend, and I would like to think that I have the skill now to see that that would not maybe be the best one because I could see that there's some telltales here that it may be heading down. But let's just ignore all of that for the minute and say, here's the day you're going to get that dividend. If you own it on that day, you are eligible for the dividend. Well, if you catch it here a week before, 2 weeks before, and oh man, it sucks, you got stuck with this stock. Well, you didn't get stuck with the stock because you still own the stock. And guess what? You paid this for it, and now it's only worth this much. You got to hold on to it, but it's going to give you that dividend of 46 cents per share, right? And then guess what's going to happen? It's going to continue to go down, and you just can't sell it, but it's just sitting there. Yes, you have whatever you paid for up here. Let's just say you bought the one share, so you are still holding. You got $93 that you can't spend, and is telling you that it's only worth $79 now. It's only worth $79 now. And then here it tells you, man, it's only worth $93, which is about what you paid for it. But you don't get rid of it right then because you got a dividend coming, and then you can sell it. And now you've gotten the dividend twice, and you've got, in this particular case, you might have made the extra money because you held on to it when it got back to the price where you got it before back here, right? So you go ahead and hold on to it for a couple of days. And then again, if you, after it comes there and it comes back down because it went up to give you the dividend, then you can do it if you don't get rid of it on that day because you don't want to do it on the day. I'm pretty sure it needs to be after the day. So that's it in a nutshell. That's the downside is you got to wait for it to come back. And it never, or it may take a long time. I mean, if you got it way up here before that dividend came in, you might have to wait a while before you get a chance to give it back. But always knowing that you're getting that dividend, that 46 cents on that share each time, 4 times a year. So that right there is $2. And you can factor that into the cost of what the share is costing you and then get rid of it at a lower price, knowing that you got those dividends to make up for that loss. So you still could factor in some spot where you would call it a break even. But the better bet would be or the better driving skill, right, would be to go, okay, this stock is not one that is where I want it to be when I do that. Let me look at this one and see that this one is not even, put a space in there. Look at this one and see that, oh, this one is down lower than it has been in the past. So maybe not a bad idea to get that one. It has room to go up. Unless it's just down all the way. It's over. It's through. That's, you got to look into it a little bit. Who is Franklin Resources? What do they do? But again, they've been around for enough time to have given out increasing dividends over many, many, many years. This is just since 2017. To make it onto the list that I got them from, they got to be there for 15 or, yeah, 15 years, I think it is. Maybe 20. But it's definitely longer than you to freak out about it. You know, you have to go back. You might have to go back sometime, but it's been around for a long time. And if you wait it out, you'll at least be getting that dividend from them, and that value of the stock is still yours. So, and I'm kind of talking to my kids at this point. All right, where am I and my wife? Because I mean, I ain't planning on dying, not planning on it. But if something happens to me, hopefully you got this. Let's do this. Gotta go.